Hello dear friends, welcome back to GRM Toppers classes and classes for toppers here. Dear friends, earlier we have completed part 1 of G Advanced 2020 paper 2. Now let us go for discussion of part 2 from paper 2 of G Advanced 2020. Dear friends, hope everybody is doing well and following my sessions happily. Now dear friends, now let us begin our session of part 2 on paper 2G 2020. Okay friends, in this session let us discuss section 2 of paper 2, which is, see this one, in section 2 also you are given by 6 questions, but here every question has one or more than one correct option as the correct answers. Therefore dear friends, we must be very careful about all the options in answering every question. Okay friends, straight away let us go to the next question, which is 7th one of this paper. See, given as, let small b be a non-zero real number. Suppose f r to r be a differentiable function such that f of 0 equal to 1. If the derivative f dash of f satisfies the equation f dash x equal to f of x by b square plus x square for all x belongs to R, then which of the following statements is oblique R true? Dear friends, as usually I will request everyone to read the question thoroughly and read the options thoroughly, then go for the solution. Dear friends, here f is R to R, be a differentiable function, and f dash denotes the derivative of that, and f dash x is f of x by b square plus x square for all x belongs to R. Then options given as, if b greater than 0, then f is an increasing function. If b less than 0, then f is decreasing function. F of x into f of minus x equal to 1 for all x belongs to R, and f of x minus f of minus x equal to 0 for all x belongs to R are the given options here. Okay friends, now let us see the solution of this question as f dash x is given as f of x by b square plus x square. Take this f of x on left side. Now f dash x by f of x is 1 by b square plus x square. Now taking integration on both sides, dear friends, taking integration on both sides. So then log mod f of x, because f dash x by f of x integration is log mod f of x is 1 by b of tan inverse x by b. Tan inverse x by b, because it is a function of x. So 1 by b square plus x square can be taken as 1 by b tan inverse x by b plus some constant of integration. And because given that f of 0 is 1, and because given that f of 0 equal to 1, just you substitute 0 in place of x and f of 0 1. So you will have c equal to 0 just by substitution. Then rewriting the function, that means taking c 0. So f of x can be taken as e power 1 by b tan inverse x by b, which is greater than 0. F of x can be taken like this. Of course, plus or minus can be taken in the power. Then what is f dash x? F dash x is f of x by b square plus x square, no? So because f of x is positive, e power either plus or minus 1 by b tan inverse x by a, e power plus or minus 1 by b tan inverse x by b. So I have taken positive value of that f of x, which is greater than 0. Then f dash x is f of x by b square plus x square is also greater than 0 because f of x is positive. So that f of x will be increasing for all b belongs to R, because it depends on only f of x, because b square will be always positive whether b is positive or negative. B square is positive, so f of x is increasing for all b belongs to R. And what is f of x into f of minus x? So f of minus x will be taken as e power minus 1 by b tan inverse x by b, because tan inverse minus x by b is minus 1 by b of tan inverse. This minus will come out of tan inverse. E power minus 1 by b tan inverse x by b. Adding powers here, you will have e power 0 equal to 1 for all x belongs to R. So that is true. Whereas f of x minus f of minus x will be like this, cannot be 0 because it is sum of the reciprocals. Sum of the reciprocals will be more than or equal to 1 or less than or equal to minus 1. Therefore, here this is not equal to 0 for all x belongs to R. Okay, friends? From this, for b greater than 0, then the function is increasing function. Even for b less than 0 also, function will be increasing but not decreasing. Hence, second option is not correct. And f of x into f of minus x equal to 1 for all x belongs to R. And this f of x minus x never be 0. Hence, A and C are the correct options for this. Okay, friends, now let us go for the next question of this section. Let a comma b be positive real number such that a greater than 1 and b less than a, means a greater than b. Let p be a point in the first quadrant that lies on this hyperbola. Suppose the tangent to the hyperbola at p passes through the point 1 comma 0, and the normal to the hyperbola at p cuts off equal intercepts on the coordinate axis. Delta denote the area of the triangle formed by the tangent at p, the normal at p, and the x-axis. If E denotes the eccentricity of the hyperbola, then which of the following statements is oblique or true? Is one question. Okay, friends. Now, because slope of normal at p is minus 1, then slope of tangent will be 1. Because given that the normal is making equal intercepts on the coordinate axis, means that slope of normal is 1, minus 1. When slope of normal is minus 1, slope of tangent will be 1 at the same point P. Hence, the equation of tangent at P can be taken as with the slope 1 and passing through 1 comma 0. Passing through 1 comma 0 it is given. Therefore, slope of tangent is y minus, equation of tangent at 1 comma 0 is y minus 0 equal to 1 into x minus 1. That is y equal to x minus 1. But being this is a tangent to the hyperbola, condition is a square L square minus b square m square equal to n square, no? So just applying this condition on the straight line. So you will have a square minus b square equal to 1. So that a square equal to 1 plus b square. Right? And point of contact will be minus a square L by n comma b square m by n. So you must memorize these two formulae for the condition between a square and b square, and point of contact minus a square L by n comma minus b square m by n for ellipse. So that b square m by n for hyperbola. So that taking L, M, N values from this straight line. So point P is a square comma b square. Point B can be taken as a square comma b square. Now the normal at P with the slope -1, otherwise making equal intercepts on the coordinate axis, can be taken as x plus y equal to a square plus b square in this manner. Now you can see the diagram on the side. So this is a part of the hyperbola, a branch of the hyperbola, a point in the first quadrant. Now this is the normal making equal intercepts, means with the slope -1. This is the tangent, green one is the tangent passing through the point 1 comma 0 on the x-axis. Hence tangent, equation of tangent can be taken like this, and equation of normal through P can be taken as x plus y equal to a square plus b square. Right. Now the triangle PTN is the triangle made by tangent, normal and the x-axis. Then the area of triangle delta can be taken as half into base into height. So half into Tn is the base number. But what is the point n here from this one? Point n is a square plus b square comma 0. Substituting y equal to 0 here, x is a square plus b square. So now area of triangle delta is half into Tn is a square plus b square minus 1, because it is 1 comma 0 and this is a square plus b square. So a square plus b square minus 1 of y coordinate of this point P is the height of the triangle into b square. So half of 2b square into b square, b power 4 is the area of triangle PTN. And then eccentricity can be taken as eccentricity equal to root over a square plus b square by a square. That is 1 plus b square by a square. But here a square equal to 1 plus b square, just now we have taken here, just you see, we have derived a square equal to 1 plus b square. So 1 plus b square by 1 plus b square. 1 plus b square by 1 plus b square. So this b square by 1 plus b square, of course it is less than 1. But the total is more than 1. So 1 plus this total is more than 1. But only b square by 1 plus b square less than 1. But the total is less than 2. So inside the square root it is more than 1 but less than 2. Hence eccentricity E will be more than 1 but less than root 2. Or in other words, E, which is 1 plus b square by a square, but given that b less than a, no, when b less than a, directly b square by a square can be taken as less than 1. Hence the total is more than 1 but less than 2. Hence the total, this value is more than 1 but less than 2. Hence the eccentricity can be taken as 1 less than E less than root 2 is the right answer for this question. Hence from the given options, you can choose option A, 1 less than E less than root 2, and delta equal to b power 4 are the right options for this question. Dear friends, hope everybody has understood the solution. Now let us go to the next question of this section, that is 9th one. And dear friends, in this 9th question, let f R2R, g R2R be functions satisfying f of x plus y equal to f of x plus f of y plus f of x into f of y, and f of x equal to x into g of x for all x comma y belongs to R. If limit x tends to 0, g of x equal to 1, then which of the following statements is oblique R true? So here given that both f and g are from R to R, and this is the condition of f here, and f of x is x into g of x for all x comma y belongs to R, and the limit x tends to 0, g of x is 1. So then ask for the given options. So you must keep all the constraints in mind, and then only you can answer the question very easily. Now here option A is f is differentiable at every point. If g of 0 equal to 1, then g is differentiable at at every x belongs to R. The derivative f dash 1 is equal to 1. the derivative f dash 0 is equal to 1. So we have to answer these. That means we have to verify whether f is differentiable or not for every x belongs to R. And also if g of 0 equal to 1, then g is differentiable at every x belongs to R or not. If g of 0 equal to 1. About g here, this is about f. This is derivative of f dash 1. This is derivative of f dash 0. So these things are need to find here. Now let us come to the solution of this one. Right. So coming here, f of x is given as x into g of x. So that very clearly f of 0 will be whatever g of 0, so it will be 0. Hence f of 0 equal to 0 because f of x equal to x into g of x. For every x comma y belongs to R, f of 0 will be 0. Then what is f dash x according to definition? Limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h is the first principle of derivatives or fundamental principle of derivatives. So from that, you can use this identity. What is that? F of x plus y equal to f of x plus f of y plus f of x plus y. Then replacing y by h, f of x plus h minus f of x can be taken as f of x, f of h plus f of x into f of h. Okay, replacing y by h, you will get f of x plus h minus f of x as f of h plus f of x into f of h. So that I will take here, f of x plus h minus f of x equal to f of h plus f of x into f of h by h. Now taking f of h common, this 1 plus f of x is the remaining by h. Now you can take this 1 plus f of x outside the limit because it is a function of x, but here the variate is h, here the tendency on h. Therefore, it is 1 plus f of x of limit h tends to 0, h of, so this f of h, because f of x is given as x into g of x, f of h is h into g of h. So therefore, it can be taken as h into g of h by h. H will be cancelled here. Now limit h tends to 0, g of h, but this is given as 1. Limit h tends to 0, g of h is given as 1. Therefore, this is simply 1 plus f of x, which is f dash x. F dash x equal to 1 plus f of x. Now what you can write? F dash x by 1 plus f of x equal to 1. Now taking integration on both sides. Taking integration on both sides. So this is the derivative of log of 1 plus mod of 1 plus f of x equal to x plus c, and f of 0 equal to 0 here. So substituting that, you will have okay, c equal to 0 only because f of 0 equal to 0, c equal to 0. When c equal to 0, log mod of 1 plus f of x is x. Then f of x equal to e power x minus 1. F of x will be, because removing log here on the right side, it will be plus or minus x. Actually, it is plus or minus x. But here, f of x, because, okay, yeah, you can go with the plus or minus x, but I have taken what you can take e power x here. Log mod of 1 plus f of x can be taken as 1 plus f of x for positive value equal to e power x minus 1. Got the point here? Yes. Now, when f of x is e power x minus 1, f dash x can be taken as e power x. F dash x is e power x. Then f dash 1 is e. F dash 0 is 1. F dash 0 is 1. Okay. And g of x will be f of x by x, where f of x is e power x minus 1 by x for x not equal to 0. Because g of 0 is given as, what is that? Limit x tends to 0, g of x is given as 1, but this is the function g of x for x not equal to 0. G of x is f of x by x for x not equal to 0. whereas limit x tends to 0, g of x is 1. Now here g of x for x not equal to 0 is e power x minus 1 by x. Of course, from the limit also you can get the same. Limit x tends to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is 1 only, no? Right. So here g of 0 is 1. So that is given as g of 0 in option B. If g of 0 is 1 and limit x tends to 0, g of x is 1, which is equal to g of 0. Therefore, g is continuous at x equal to 0. G is continuous at x equal to 0. Now let us verify g dash 0 here. So g dash 0 according to definition, limit x tends to 0, g of x minus g of 0 by x minus 0. X minus 0 is x only. Limit x tends to 0, g of x minus g of 0 by x minus 0 is g dash 0. But what is g of 0? So this can be taken. G of 0 is 1. It is given as 1, no? Now limit x tends to 0, g of x is this one. G of 0 is minus 1. Divided by x has been taken as 1 by x before the bracket. Now on the whole, this is limit x tends to 0, e power x minus 1 minus x by x square. And taking the expansion of e power x. Taking the expansion of e power x, otherwise you can go for L'Hospital rule of limits. So you can take it as e power x minus 1 by 2x if you want. So going for L'Hospital rule, it is e power x minus 1 by 2x. As x tends to 0, this is what? 1 by 2. Okay. So even if you want, you can write it as, just a minute, one more step, taking one more step. Okay. This one, see. Yes, please. This is 2x as x tends to 0. Yeah. So this is 1 by 2. Therefore, g of x is differentiable at x equal to 0 because it is existing. G dash 0 is existing. Hence, differentiable everywhere. G of x is differentiable at every point, as well as g of x is differentiable at x equal to 0. Therefore, g of x is differentiable everywhere is the right answer because g of x is e power x minus 1 by x. Got the point? Right. Otherwise, you can also take the solution by this way. F of x plus y equal to f of x plus f of y plus f of x into f of y. Adding 1 on both sides. 1 plus f of x plus y is 1 plus f of x into 1 plus f of y. Just taking the product, you can see 1 will be cancelled on both sides and you will get the same. Implies 1 plus f of x equal to f of x, a power x. Why? Because in place of, you see, 1 plus f of x plus y, this is function of x plus y. You are getting this is function of x and this is function of y. So function of x plus y is a product of function of x into function of y. So that 1 plus f of x can be taken as a power x. Okay, because a power x plus y is a power x into a power y. So here 1 plus f of x plus y is a function of x and y. In another way you can do like this. So that 1 plus f of x equal to a power x. Then f of x equal to a power x minus 1. Okay, and because, okay, g of x is f of x by x can be taken as a power x minus 1 by x, and limit x tends to 0, g of x is given as 1. So because limit x tends to 0, g of x, here it is log a. Log a equal to 1 means a equal to e. Log a equal to 1 means a equal to e. Therefore, f of x can be taken as e power x minus 1. Then g of x is e power x minus 1 by x for x not equal to 0. Then what is f dash x? F dash x is e power x. So f dash 1 is e and f dash 0 equal to 1. So all this can be again answered from the given options. What is that? So f dash 1 equal to, here f dash 1 is e minus 1. What you are getting? F dash e here. Uh, yeah, f dash e is f dash e or f dash 1. Sorry, f dash 1. F dash 1 is e and f dash 0 is 1. But here f dash 1 is given as 1, so not equal. And f dash 0 is equal to 1, that is correct. Along with f is differentiable everywhere. And when g of 0 equal to 1, g of x is differentiable everywhere is the right answer. So like this you can answer this question. Now let us come to the next question. 10th one of this section. Let alpha, beta, gamma, delta be real numbers such that alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square is not equal to 0 and alpha plus gamma equal to 1. Suppose the point 3, 2, minus 1 is the mirror image of the point 1, 0, minus 1 with respect to the plane. Then alpha x plus beta y plus gamma z equal to delta. So with respect to the plane, this plane, these two are the mirror image of each other. Then which of the following statements is true? Okay friends, when you are given by mirror image of each other, so the plane will be locus of equidistance. The plane will be locus of equidistance. Now let us see this. The equation of plane will be taken as locus of equidistance means PS square equal to PB square for every point P on the plane. PS square equal to PB square. So then because points given as 3, 2, minus 1, 1, 0, minus 1, 3, 2, minus 1 and 1, 0, minus 1. So you can just substitute here x minus 3 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square and that. So taking PS square equal to PB square. So simplifying that, this is the equation of plane is x plus y equal to 3 without common factor of terms. And moreover, it is given as alpha plus gamma equal to 1. Alpha is the coefficient of x here. Gamma is the coefficient of z here, where gamma is 0 in that. That's why alpha must be 1. Hence, in the simplest form, you can take this as x plus y equal to 3. So this plane is given as alpha x plus beta y plus gamma z equal to delta. Then alpha equal to 1, beta equal to 1, gamma 0 and delta 3, dear friends. Now you can see alpha plus beta equal to 2 and delta minus gamma equal to 3 because gamma is 0, delta 3, that is also true. And delta plus beta equal to 4 because 3 plus 1 and alpha plus beta plus gamma is 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 2 only, but delta is 3. So this is not correct. These three options A, B, C are correct, my dear friends. It is one simple question. So even everybody can do this question. Okay, hence, of course, it can be also answered in another way, substituting midpoint of the segment on the plane and comparing DRs of line segment AB with the normal to the plane. So you will have conditions of, values of alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Also you can do, this is the another way of answering this question. Okay. Now coming to the next question, which is on vectors here. Let A and B be positive numbers. Suppose PQ bar given as AI plus BJ, PS bar AI minus BJ are adjacent sides of a parallelogram. PQRS, this is the parallelogram PQRS. Let U bar and V bar be the projection vectors of W bar equal to I plus J. U bar and V bar be the projection vectors of W bar along PQ bar and PS bar. Along PQ bar and PS bar, where PQ bar, PS bar are given here respectively. And mod U bar plus mod V bar equal to mod W bar. And the area of the parallelogram is 8. There are many constraints here. Then which of the following statements is true? So these are the relations of AB. A plus B is 4, A minus B is 2. The length of the diagonal PR of the parallelogram PQRS is 4, length of the diagonal. And W bar is angular bisector of the vectors PQ bar and PS bar. Now let us see which of the options are correct here. Now you are given by area of parallelogram PQRS is 8. That is mod of PQ bar cross PS bar, which is AI plus BJ cross AI minus BJ. So because I cross I is 0, J cross J is 0. Now it is minus AB, I cross J K, and the J cross I minus K. So you will have 2AB here. Because mod K is 1, 2AB. The 2AB is given as 8 because A and B are positive, no? Here A and B are given as positive real numbers. So I have taken AB without mod. So that is equal to 2AB equal to 8 implies AB equal to 4. So keep it aside. AB is 4. Okay. Now what is magnitude of U bar, which is projection of W bar on A bar? W bar on A bar. So projection of W bar on A bar is W bar dot A bar by mod A bar. So this one PQ bar, no, W bar dot this one by its magnitude. Therefore, mod U bar can be taken as mod of A plus B by root over A square plus B square, and mod V bar is the, here V bar be the projection of W bar on PS bar. Hence take the dot product of this one divided by root over A square plus B square, which is magnitude of that. So what is that? Mod V bar equal to mod of A minus B by root over A square plus B square. So now given that mod U bar plus mod V bar equal to mod W bar, where mod W bar is root 2. So just you will get this equation. Okay. But here adding these two, considering A greater than B. Considering A greater than B, anyway A plus B is positive. A minus B will be also positive. So 2A by root over A square plus B square is root 2 for A greater than or equal to B. And simplifying that, you will have A equal to B equal to 2. Even considering A greater than or equal to B, you got A equal to B means you will get PQ bar equal to, okay, PR bar. PR bar is the diagonal here. PR bar, from this diagram, this is PQ bar, this is PS bar, this is PR bar. So PR bar equal to PQ bar plus PS bar, which is 2AI, where 2A. So here, because AB equal to 4 and A square equal to B square means A equal to B, so A equal to B equal to 2. A equal to B equal to 2. So that 2AI will be 4I. So 4I means its magnitude will be 4, length of the diagonal will be 4 units. And mod of PQ bar equal to mod of PS bar equal to root over A square plus B square. Both the sides are equal. So then this PR bar will be bisector of angle between QPS. That will be the bisector. And the length of the side will be what? Root over A square plus B square means 2 root 2. Okay. Therefore, the diagonal will be diagonal, a vector along the diagonal of angle between PS bar and PQ bar is PR bar, which is 4I. This is one vector. That is also one of the options here. W bar is an angle bisector of the vector, what is that? PQ bar and PS bar. Of course, here W bar is not, but the diagonal is the angular bisector. And the length of the diagonal PR is equal to 4 units. So that is what is the length of the diagonal here? 4I. Yeah, PR equal to 4. So this is also one correct option here. This is also one correct option. A minus B 2 not correct. And W bar, what is that? Is an angular bisector of the vectors PQ bar and PS bar. So this is not correct because W bar is I plus J. I plus J is not the bisector. Only 4I is the bisector. That's why. So only what is that? A and C are the correct options here, my dear friends. Now let us come to the next question, which is one good question of this paper, 12th one. For a non-negative, for non-negative integers S and R, let S R this one defined as what is that, s factorial by r factorial of s minus r factorial for r less than or equal to s. It is nothing but SCR. It is a combination of r things from s. SCR is s factorial by r factorial of s minus r factorial for r less than or equal to s. And it is 0 for r more than s. For positive integers m and n, let gmn is defined like this. Gmn is sigma p equal to 0 to m plus n fmnp by n plus p to p. That means it is the combination on n plus p and n, where for any non-negative integer p, so fmnp, which is used here, given in this manner, then which of the following statements is true? Okay, dear friends, here statements given on GMN. So every statement is based on GMN. Hence, it is required to define this GMN to the known one. Therefore, let us take this FMN now. Taking FMN, which is given as sigma I equal to 0 to P. So this is Mi n plus I Cp. This is actually MCI n plus I Cp and P plus n Cp minus I. So like that, sigma I equal to 0 to P. So let us simplify these two first. Taking this MCI as it is, n plus I Cp can be taken as n plus I factorial by P factorial of n minus P plus I factorial into P plus n factorial by just definition from combinations, P plus n factorial by P minus I factorial of n, P plus n minus of this one become n plus I factorial. So this n plus I factorial will be cancelled and the remaining can be taken as P plus n factorial by P factorial of n factorial. P plus n factorial by P plus P factorial of n factorial. Taking additional, so let us multiply by n factorial also. I have taken this product as P plus n factorial by P factorial into n factorial into, to balance this one, n factorial by P minus I factorial of n minus of P minus I become what, n minus P plus I factorial. Therefore, this can be taken as now P plus n Cp and this is nc P minus I. Now this bracket will be, this combination will be independent of I, hence taken out. Now sigma I equal to 0 to P MCI and nc P minus I will be taken. Now because sum of the suffixes is constant, so this will be taken from the two expansions. MCI, that means in the expansion of 1 plus x whole power m and in the expansion of 1 plus x whole power n. So this product will be coefficient of x power p, in the product of two expansions, 1 plus x whole power m and 1 plus x whole power n. So this product can be taken as coefficient of x power p, can be taken as m plus n Cp, m plus n Cp. Okay. Now this product P plus n Cp into m plus n Cp, which is GMN here. Okay, so this product can be used in GMN, which is FMNP. This is FMNP. Now what will be GMN now? Sigma P equal to 0 to m plus n. FMNP can be written here divided by n plus P Cp. That means this one, n plus P Cp. Cancelling that, remaining is m plus n Cp. So sigma P equal to 0 to m plus n Cp will be taken as from P equal to 0 to m plus n, means first to last every combination is there. Therefore, it can be taken as 2 power m plus n, like sum of all the binomial coefficients from C0 to Cn is 2 power n. So here C0 to Cm plus n. So everyone can be taken as 2 power m plus n. Okay. Now Gmn is just 2 power m plus n. Then Gnm will be also interchanging n and m. There will be no change. So that GMN equal to GNM is the first option, I think. So GMN equal to GNM for all positive integers is right. And Gm of n plus 1 and Gm plus 1 of n, because it is 2 power m plus n plus 1. This is also 2 power m plus 1 plus n, means both are same. That is also right answer. And here G power 2m plus 2n. G power 2m plus 2n. That means 2 power 2m plus 2n here. 2 power 2m plus 2n. Here 2 into 2 power m plus n. 2 into 2 power m plus n is 2 power m plus n plus 1. Whereas this is 2 power 2m plus 2n. Here these two are not equal. So this is not possible. Now what you can write, G power G 2m 2n is 2 power 2m plus 2n can be taken as 2 power m plus n whole square. Therefore it is Gmn whole square. Will be also true. Hence A, B and D are true here. So like this, question number 12 is also completed, none. So with this, so 6 questions of this section 2 also completed, my dear friends. And I hope you have understood every solution of this section. And dear friends, please share this one to all your friends, and also let them know the solutions. And wait for the next part of this discussion on section 3. So as soon as possible, so I will come with the solutions of part 3 as well. So till then, have a nice time, dear friends. So let us stop our discussion here. Thank you.